it touches our heart. When we stand beside our flag, as we do today, it gives us a sense of identity. If our Constitution is the expression of our aspiration as a society, and the wonderful resources of the men and women of South Africa and the endowment of our natural resources were the ingredients, then the work of SARS funds and, as it were, bakes the cake of social cohesion in democracy. Because our flag and our wonderful anthem and our world-class constitution would mean nothing if it did not translate into an improvement in the lived experiences of South Africans. I often remind myself of the preamble of our Constitution that says that we come together to heal the injustices of the past and to build a society where every South African can be freed to fulfill their full potential. And when we think of our work, we don't think of our work as the administrators of law. We don't think of our work as making sure that tax policy is transformed into tax aspiration. But we express the reason why we do this as our higher purpose. And that is in the knowledge that the work we do is transformative. It touches the lives of every South African. And in particular, the most vulnerable in society, as we saw during COVID, would be left completely destitute were it not for the resources that is yielded by the work of this wonderful institution we call SARS. In October 1997, when it came into being, many of the men and women who were part of that conception are here today. I think especially of Minister Manuel, who at the time provided direction from the Ministry of Finance and Treasury, and our colleague, Mr. Pravin Gordhan, who I think of as who did the midwifery, gave birth and transformed the Commission's recommendations, the Katz Commission's recommendations, transformed that into a living edifice and gave it stature, gave it its anatomy, but more importantly, gave it its soul. And today we mark 25 years. We've had a bit of a rough ride here and there, but the thousands of men and women who have committed themselves to public service in the most visible form are the people we celebrate today. Many of them have joined, many of them predated, some of them have left and retired, some of them who retired came back. I think of myself, for example, who had the privilege, Mr. President, and your confidence to take on this role in 2019. But we today, as the current leadership of SARS, we stand on the shoulders of the giants who came before us, and we want to thank them for that today. Mr. President, today is a celebration of our democracy. Today is a day where we realize that our true sovereignty comes from our fiscal integrity. We are privileged that we do not count amongst what is known as the HIPC countries, highly indebted poor countries. We are privileged today to not have a largely eroded tax base, even though we still have challenges to improve our compliance. we today can proudly say that the institution whom we affectionately call SARS provides 90% of the resources needed by government to fund democracy, to provide the public goods and services that our people are entitled to. And for all of that, today we stand here and pause for a moment, privileged, yet filled with immense pride and honor that we are part of this great story of SARS. Those who are in the room are special because they were part of this journey. Those who are connected and not able to attend are special. And they each will have their own story, and every story ought to be told. So we will find ways in the coming days to give expression to this wonderful story of SARS. But for now, and for this moment, we want to reflect and rejoice, because it truly is a moment to rejoice, that we can come together today and celebrate 25 years of SARS. And so with those words, I welcome you and hope you enjoy these this morning with us. Mr. President, our Minister of Finance is flying our flag in Washington and could unfortunately not be here today. But I want to share with you a video message that he has prepared to give expression to his sentiments for this occasion, after which I will invite the Deputy Minister, Dr. David Masonda, to make some introductory remarks and to formally welcome you to the podium.